presentation of Jacksonville University Athletics.
It's time to play ball. Jacksonville University Baseball is presented by WB Mason, the official office supply provider of the Dolphins. Now let's head to the ballpark and join the voice of the Dolphins, Scott Manzi.
Final home series of the year starting here tonight. Jacksonville and North Florida meeting up in a River City Rumble. Dolphins and Ospreys battling for the second series this year. North Florida taking 2 out of 3 across town at Harmon Stadium back in April. Now Jacksonville looks to close out the 2022 season here at John Sessions Stadium strong. And it is Mason Adams towing the rubber against North Florida here this evening, the Friday night starter who has been sensational this year for the Dolphins. And the right-hander from Okeechobee, Florida, sets and delivers in his first pitch. Misses down and away to Isaiah Byers, ball 1. Byers, Brock Edge, Abraham Sequeira, top 3 in the order for North Florida here tonight. The 1-0, and that is a fastball on the outer edge called ball 2 to Byers. It's 2-0. Adams has located in that same spot right on the outside part of the plate twice in a row now here and hasn't gotten the call. So it's 3-0. He is behind in the count. And there is a called strike in at the knees to Byers to make it 3-1. Jeremy Dupree working the plate here tonight with John Puma at first and Landon Davis at third. 3-1 swung on and missed. An elevated fastball from Mason Adams, and he is back in the count here. Payoff pitch. And it is poked to the right side, cut down by Coypel at first base, lunging to his right. He gets up to his knees and tosses to the covering Adams, and that is out number 1 on a nice play made by the Jacksonville first baseman defensively. As good a time as any to introduce you to the defensive alignment for Jacksonville here tonight. We just heard from Coypel. He's over at first. Next to him at second base, Jesus Pacheco. Chase Malloy making his 48th start of the year at short with Jonah Diaz at third base here tonight. Elias Flowers out in left, Cam Ridley in center, Blake DeLamellar in right, and Jake Berg doing the catching. The first pitch to Brock Edge backs him off of the plate for ball 1. The left-handed swinging Edge, the Florida transfer, hitting .317 on the year. The 1-0 pitch. And that one is fouled straight back. 1 out, bases empty in the top of the first. North Florida entering tonight's game 20-28 on the year, 10-14 in the A-Sun. The 1-1 called strike on a changeup on the outer half. Jacksonville 24-23, also 10-14 in the A-Sun. But Jacksonville with a decided advantage over North Florida in the RPI rankings, which is what is most important right now. 1-2. Swung on and missed. He elevated a heater. And that is strikeout number 1 on the night for Mason Adams, number 94 on the year for the right-hander, who entered tonight as the A-Sun leader in strikeouts. Also tied for 19th in the country in that total. Entering tonight's game, trying to become the second Dolphin in as many years to hit the century mark in strikeouts. First pitch to Abraham Sequeira is a fastball high to the switch-hitting third baseman. Sequeira hitting .303 this year. A guy who feels like he hits about 800 against Jacksonville, though. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at a changeup. Sequeira, they're probably saying the same thing on the other side about Coypel, but one of those guys, it's like, how many years has he been in that program? Sequeira, he has made the most of his opportunities. Ground ball foul makes it 1-2. Bases empty, 2 outs in the top of the first. Adams surrendered 6 runs, 5 earned on 11 hits in 5 2/3 innings back on the 8th of April when Jacksonville faced off against North Florida for the first time. 1-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, down to short. Gloved by Malloy. His soft throw over to first in time to retire Sequeira, and the Dolphins sit down the Ospreys in order in the first. No score. As we head to the home half, Jacksonville coming to the plate for the first time. Chase Malloy, Elias Flowers, Christian Coypel do up. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Peter Holden out to the mound for North Florida. The southpaw starting his 8th game of the season, and he has been sensational over the last month and a half for the Ospreys as he looks to settle into his role now as the Friday night starter for North Florida, and he gets Chase Malloy here to start things off. Holden sets, and his first pitch spins in for a strike on the inner half. Holden, 52 1/3 innings pitched this year. He has surrendered just 19 earned runs in that span as he bounces one in. That nearly hit Malloy on the foot. Almost looked like Malloy was going to try and sell it as he turned looking to toss the bat, but ends up staying in the box, now 1-1. The pitch, and that one is lifted high in the air to the right side into shallow right field. Ranging over, Westbrook underneath makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting the left fielder, number 10, Elias Flowers.
So Eli Flowers has started to settle himself into this role as the number 2 hitter and starting left fielder for Jacksonville, a guy who figured he was going to be in this spot at the beginning of the season before some injuries impacted him early on as he takes away ball 1 to start. Base is empty, 1 out here in the first. The 1-0, and that one cuts over the outside edge. Strike 1 called. That one way inside, and Flowers able to move out of the way to avoid it. Two and 1 the count. And a hard hit ground ball right side and through. Sweat laid out to his right, unable to get there though, and that's a 1-out single for Elias Flowers and the Dolphins. And Eli collects his 20th hit of the year in 70 ABs. Entered today hitting .275, and he continues to make a late season push for the second year in a row. Brings up Christian Coypel, runner at first, 1 out. Jacksonville looking to draw first blood here tonight. Dolphins have been very good about this year, but as of late have slowed down some in their early game scoring. Holden's first pitch, and that one runs inside on Coypel for ball 1. Jacksonville outscoring opponents 31-15 in first innings this year. That is the biggest disparity for Jacksonville in favor of the Dolphins. Actually, the fifth is slightly better, 37-15 Dolphins outscoring opponents. A very random inning to be doing better in, but Jacksonville does a lot better when they're able to get on the board first. JU scores in the first inning, 9-7 on the year. They score first 15-8 overall as Coypel takes a called strike on the fastball that dives back in on the outer half. If opponents score first, though, Jacksonville just 9-13 on the year. If the opponent scores in the first inning, just 2-7. Runner at first, 1 out, 1-1 pitch outside. Coypel, Jacksonville's leader in RBI this season, with a team best 43 on the year. And Holden steps and throws over to first. Flowers this season, 6 for 7 in stolen bases. Dolphins didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to run over the course of that 5-game road trip to Lynchburg, Virginia, and Tallahassee. 2-1 pitch, and that one is fouled off to the left side and out of play. But JU still running at a high clip here this season. Over 70 stolen bases this year for the Dolphins, and have enjoyed putting pressure on opponents. 78 this year. 2-2. Breaking ball that hit Coypel on the right leg, and he takes first. So first and second with 1 out, and a good opportunity here in the bottom of the first for Jacksonville. And it's Blake DeLamiler, the Dolphins' hottest hitter, coming to the plate. DeLamiler hitting .382 over his last 10. And he has an RBI opportunity here as the first pitch he sees is a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Holden on to Sweat, the relay throw on to first in time. And a 1-4-3 double play ends the inning after Jacksonville puts 2 on with 1 out. So a early threat for the Dolphins, but the double play gets North Florida out of it unscathed. We're scoreless through 1 here at John Sessions Stadium. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Westbrook leading off the top of the second inning for North Florida. No score yet between Jacksonville and UNF here in game one of this three-game set here at John Sessions Stadium this weekend. The regular season home finale for Jacksonville as the first pitch from Mason Adams is a called strike on the outer half. And that one a little bit low, evens the count at 1-1. Adams fell behind early in the first inning as he delivers the 1-1 pitch and gets a swing and a miss on a sinking fastball. But battled his way back, got Isaiah Byers, and sat down the Ospreys in order. Bouncing ball to the right side off two hops, fielded by Pacheco at the edge of the outfield grass. His sidearm throw on to first in plenty of time, and Westbrook out 4-3 for out number one here in the second.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, Aiden Sweat.
Aiden Sweat standing in with a bases empty and one out here in the second. First pitch from Adams. And that is a two-hopper to short. Fielded by Malloy, ranging to his left. His throw on to first. Coypel with the stretch. And there is out number two.
Now batting.
That brings up Trey Spratling-Williams, the DH.
Trey Spratling-Williams.
Jacksonville women's lacrosse playing in the NCAA tournament as the first pitch is a called strike on the outer half to the lefty Spratling-Williams. Leading Stanford 18-6 right now in the fourth quarter down in Gainesville. So Dolphins look like they're on their way to their second win in the NCAA tournament in as many years, the 0-1. And that is a fastball at the belt for a strike. Spratling-Williams down in the count 0-2. The Jacksonville native, the senior DH, batting .243 this year, making his 31st start of the season. 0-2 pitch. And that one runs upstairs. Spratling-Williams takes for ball one. Adams steps off here for a moment. Spratling-Williams started 2 of the 3 games in the earlier series this year, had 1 hit and 7 at-bats, also walked, and that one bounces in front of the plate and skips, fortunately, in between Jake Berg and Spratling-Williams back to the wall. Now a 2-2 count on the big DH. Two-two. And a breaking ball on the inner half that Spratling-Williams checked his swing on. So from 0-2 to 3-2 here with 2 outs and the bases empty. Adams 1 strikeout so far here today. Looking for his second payoff pitch and a ground ball to the right side. That one a 3-hopper to Pacheco. And he tosses on to first in plenty of time, and 3 ground outs. Sit down the Ospreys in order again here in the second. Scoreless as we head to the home half. Jacksonville's Jesus Pacheco leads it off when we return. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Jesus Pacheco leading it off for Jacksonville in the second. Scoreless game so far between Jacksonville and North Florida. Dolphins threatened in the first, putting a pair of men on with less than 2 outs. Nothing to show for it. A pitcher's best friend for Peter Holden helped him get out of the inning unscathed. Here is Pacheco up for the first time here today, and he takes a first pitch. Sinking down and away from Pacheco. It's called a strike on the outer half. Jesus, 3 hits in the first series against North Florida this year. Drove in 3 runs as well. The 0-1, down and away. Pacheco starting to improve as well as the season gets a little bit longer in the tooth. He's hitting now .270 on the season. Good to see him back in the lineup, too, after being hit by a pitch on the hand on Tuesday. He takes a breaking ball away and moves ahead in the count 2-1. He drove in a run the hard way with a bases-loaded HBP at Florida State on Tuesday and ended up exiting the game an inning later. 2-1. Ground ball to the left of the mound, ranging to his left, Byers up with it, and his throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. So that pulled Grodi off to his right, and he just had to save that one from going away. An error on Byers, who, for Jacksonville fans, may recall Byers opening the series at shortstop against Jacksonville last month and then not even making it through the first game before switching over to second base, and then he was DHing, has been dealing with an arm injury throughout the course of the season. And that throw was hard but not accurate, and Jacksonville has the leadoff man aboard here in the second for Jake Berg. The lefty catcher takes at the knees, strike 1. Berg hitting just .226, but has produced much better all season long when runners have been on. His average well over 300 when he gets a chance to move runners over. Throw over to first to check on Pacheco. For Berg, it's his 33rd start of the year behind the dish. Just 5 for his last 29 at the plate. And he takes called strike 2 in the high outside corner. Runner at first, no outs, 0-2 pitch. And that one outside, taken by Berg. Sun is peeked out from behind the clouds on this overcast Friday evening. We had a steady drizzle throughout the course of the early part of the evening that impacted batting practice some here. But it has abated, and the sun is out, and the outfield is once again bathed in sunlight with the Cade Westbrook sunglasses on top of his hat, but he is using his hand to shield his eyes. Never quite understood that one. The infield mostly in the shadows as the 1-2 is swung on and missed. A nice breaking ball from Holden, and he registers his first strikeout of the ball game and his 45th of the year. That is out number 1. And here comes Tommy Joseph, the switch-hitting DH, batting right-handed against the southpaw Holden. First pitch fouled off by Joseph, 0-1. Holden, a Vero Beach native in his first year with the Ospreys, a transfer from Baton Rouge Community College. He started his career at Southern University. Pitched 23 times at the JUCO level. 0-1. And that one a little outside to Joseph, makes it a ball and a strike. Holden ASUN Pitcher of the Week back on May the 2nd. That was after a dominant start Pitch misses high against Kennesaw State. Now 2-1 here to Tommy Joseph. He went complete against the Owls, allowing just 2 hits and no runs, a complete game shutout. Took him just 96 pitches to finish the game as well. He struck out 3, walked 2, hit 2. Runner at first, 1 out, the pitch. Outside. 3-1. Ball 4 high. And for the second straight inning, Jacksonville with 2 men on with less than 2 outs. Now it's Jonah Diaz.
Now batting the third baseman, number 9.
And he'll try to drive in the first runs of the ball game. Jacksonville had this situation an inning ago. And Blake DeLamellar grounded into a double play on the very first pitch that he saw here from Holden. So here is Diaz now, the freshman, in his 40th start of the season. He swings at the first pitch, but he grounds it off. Pacheco on second after he reached on the throwing error by Isaiah Byers. Tommy Joseph draws a walk. Jacksonville just 1 hit so far against Holden here tonight, though I've had 4 base runners through the first 2 innings. 0-1. And that one is slapped foul as well by Diaz. Jonah had 3 hits. All 3 of them were for extra bases against the Ospreys earlier this year. 2 doubles and a triple. Drove in a pair over at Harmon Stadium back in early April. Runners at first and second, 1 out, the 0-2. And that one runs a little bit outside to Diaz, who holds up on his check swing. A ball and 2 strikes to the freshman third baseman. Diaz making his 11th start of the year at the hot corner. The 1-2. And a tapper back to the mound. Holden on to second, but Byers drops it, and they give him a very generous transfer call because Isaiah Byers just, he may have been trying to do the old pop the ball out of his glove into his throwing hand to speed it up, but that ball was never secured, and it just fell straight from his glove to the ground. And head coach Chris Hayes is having a word with our third base umpire, Landon Davis, about that one. I mean, I understand the thought process on how that would be a transfer, but he didn't catch it. And now the umpires have come together. So it almost looked like we had a tailor-made situation just like the last time for a double play to get out of the inning on a tapper back to the mound. So the umpire's still chatting it in front of the mound. As it stands right now, there's 2 outs and runners at the corners. And they keep the call as called on the field. So a break for North Florida to get the second out of the inning. And Jacksonville still a chance to score a run here with runners at the corners and 2 outs. And Isaiah Byers is he's had a couple of moments here already here in this game. Here is Cam Ridley with runners at the corners and 2 outs as Jacksonville tries to get on the board. And the first pitch misses down and away to Ridley, ball 1. Jonah Diaz at first after reaching on the fielder's choice. Joseph was forced out at second, 1-6. Pacheco now at third base. Dolphins a base hit away from the first run of the ball game. A 1-0. And Ridley takes at the knees, a strike. Cam's lone home run of the season came against North Florida. A 3-run jack on Sunday of that series. A 12-4 win for the Dolphins. They're alone in the 3-game set. The 1-1 misses outside. Ridley steps out here for a moment. He is driven in. 17 now on the season. The 2-1, a swing and a miss at a breaking ball down and in. And a slapper down toward short. Byers goes the short way on to second base and forces out Diaz, and that ends the inning. So again, Jacksonville threatens, but the Dolphins come away with nothing to show for it, and we have no score yet. 2 innings in the books here at John Sessions Stadium on this Friday evening. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Hi, I'm
Attention parents. Is your child interested in
attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rule.
Start of the third inning, no score yet. Jacksonville and North Florida locked in a pitcher's duel here early. Mason Adams working his way through the bottom third of the order here in the third, and a big swing and a miss by Dallin Leach, the catcher, to start. Leach, a .262 hitter in his 42nd start of the year. And he flares one toward shallow right field, but going back, the second baseman Pacheco makes a leaping catch on the run, and that keeps Leach from a bloop single. And that is the first out of the third. Here's Grant Grodi playing first base here today for the Ospreys. First pitch he sees is high and away for ball one. Adams quickly home of the 1-0 pitch, and that's high and away. Grodi started 2 2 of the 3 games for the Ospreys in the first matchup between these two. One at first, one at third. 2-0 pitch runs inside. In the Friday night game, he went 3 for 4 and didn't hit a ball that left the infield. Ospreys maximized in their placement balls in that one, and a pitch that is ruled to have missed low for ball 4 puts Grodi on, and that's the first base runner for the Ospreys here tonight. A 1-out walk to the Ospreys first baseman, and here is Justin Holmes. Holmes hitting just .205 here this season. This is his 30th start of the year. The righty stands in, and the first pitch from Adams out of the stretch of the night is a fastball at the knees, ball 1. Grodi, not much of a threat to run over at first. His attempt to just 1 stolen base this year. Adams asks for a fresh baseball and gets it. The 1-0. And that's a pop-up right side of the infield. Into foul territory goes Coypel. And moving to his left, he makes the catch behind first base coach Kyle Brooks for out number 2.
Number 8, the shortstop, Isaiah Bryers.
Back to the top of the order in Isaiah Byers. Byers 0 for 1 today, grounded out to first, his first time up. Runner at first, 2 outs. Scoreless game. And the first pitch swinging, a tapper back to the mound. Good play by Adams, off the mound to his right. Set his feet, threw accurately onto first, and that ends the inning. So Adams works around the 1-out walk, and he has held the Ospreys scoreless, facing one more than the minimum through 3. We head to the home half. Jacksonville's back to the top of the order when we return. You're listening to JU Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Chase Malloy leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning, swings at the first pitch and grounds it down to the shortstop Isaiah Byers, who didn't even have to move to field that one and throw on to first for out number 1.
Number 10, Elias Flowers.
So back around to Elias Flowers, the only player with a hit so far here in this game. He grounded one through the hole at second base. Back in the first, advanced into scoring position, but was stranded there. Peter Holden kicks and fires, and his first pitch a little low for ball 1. And that one in at the letters for a strike. Holden did not start against Jacksonville the first time. He did appear in relief in the Saturday game, an Osprey win 5-3 as he locates at the knees to make it 1-2. Excuse me, he did start that game. I don't know what I was looking at. I'm looking at Gonzalez, who we'll see later in this series, who did not start that game. He came on in relief. Holden is the only holdover in the starting rotation from the first time these two teams faced off. Down and outside makes it a 2-2 pitch. 2-2 count here to Flowers with the bases empty and 1 out. No score yet, bottom of the third. Holden went 5 2/3, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits, struck out 9, walked 4. A slow roller to the right side. Grodi fields, tosses to the covering Holden in a foot race to the bag. He and Flowers got there at the same time, and Holden is ruled to have beat him for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 8, Christian Coypel.
Well, Flowers did his best to put as much pressure on the Osprey defense as possible there. Holden trying for his first clean inning of the night after allowing a pair of base runners in each of the first 2. Sun continuing to set here on this Friday evening. It is dipped below the clouds, and the far reaches of the outfield still bathed in sunlight. Most of the rest of the field in the shade here as Coypel rips one down the right field line, foul. Final Friday night game here at John Sessions Stadium this year, and happy to see that the weather has cooperated after the iffy start to the day. 0-1. Called strike at the knees. 0-2 to Coypel. Holden sets and delivers the 0-2 pitch, and Coypel flies that one to right field. Coming in on it, Westbrook makes the catch, and the Dolphins go down in order in the third. Scoreless, 1/3 of the way through here on this Friday night at John Sessions Stadium. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports. Nothing. 3 innings in Jacksonville, North Florida. River City Rumble game number 1 of this weekend series, the final for Jacksonville at home this season. And with a lot still on the line, with 6 games to play in the A-Sun Conference schedule, here's Brock Edge, the 2-hole hitter who struck out his first time up, and he takes a strike on the outside corner to begin the at-bat. He hits one up the middle under the legs of Mason Adams, and it bounds its way into center field. So Edge with the first hit of the night for North Florida, a leadoff single here to start the fourth. North Florida got its first base runner last inning, and now it's first leadoff man on his first hit. We'll see if the top part of the order can do anything with it. Here's the three-hole hitter, Abraham Sequeira. And they throw over to check on Edge, who is 6 for 8 in stolen bases on the year. The switch-hitting Sequeira, batting left-handed against Adams, takes a fastball high for ball one. The 1-0. Bouncing ball up the middle again. This time it is knocked down by Malloy, but he cannot pick it up cleanly, and so everyone is safe as the Ospreys pick up consecutive hits on balls up the middle.
The right fielder, number 5, Cade Westbrook.
And the Ospreys have something going here. First and second. And no one out in the top of the fourth. And Cade Westbrook, who's 0 for 1 with the ground out today, climbs into the box. Adams' first pitch, and that is fouled off to the left side and out of play. Westbrook, 21 RBI on the season. No sign of him bunting the runners over here. He had 2 hits and 10 at-bats against the Dolphins earlier this year as he takes a breaking ball in the inside corner called ball one. Brock Edge at second, Abraham Sequeira at first. 1-1 pitch and a swing and a miss on a nice fastball down and in to Westbrook. A little flare down toward short, fielded by Malloy. Underhands on to second, the relay throw on to first, and they say Westbrook beat it out. So Jacksonville unable to turn the double play. Runners now at the corners with 1 out in the inning. And Mason Adams continuing to pitch to contact, continuing to get ground balls, but Jacksonville has not been able to make the most of them here this inning after 3 innings of pretty much turning everything away. Westbrook replaces Sequeira on the fielder's choice at first. Edge down to third, representing the potential first run of the ball game for either team. And Aiden Sweat stands in 0 for 1 with the ground out. First pitch. And look out, he nearly takes out Coach Hayes as he lets go of the bat on a swing and a miss to start. Coach Hayes jumping out of the way of that one that came flying in. And he hands Sweat his bat back. I would hand Sweat the bat back and some pine tar and tell him to do some work before you get back in the box. And his teammate Trey Spratling-Williams there to pick him up. That should be 2 strikes. Runners at the corners, 1 out. And Sweat, after treating his bat there and rubbing his hands on the tar, climbs back in, does use the batting gloves. And the 0-1 pitch, and he pops this one up into shallow center field. Ridley lining it up, makes the catch. Edge tags up the throw to the plate, bounds off of the mound and kicks to the left. It may have hit the rubber, and so Edge scores on what looked like a very good throw from Cam Ridley that just landed in the most inconvenient spot possible. And it's been that kind of an inning for Jacksonville. Just a couple of bounces here and there that haven't gone the Dolphins' way, and North Florida takes a 1-0 lead on Aiden Sweat's sacrifice fly.
Designated hitter number 25, Trey Spratling-Williams.
So now Trey Spratling-Williams with a runner at first and 2 outs. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out. And Adams comes home and locates breaking ball outer half for a strike to the lefty. Oh, 1 pitch, and that one runs down and in. Osprey scoring first here, getting the first 2 men on via singles, one up the gut into center, one an infield single. Dolphins don't turn the double play. Too slow on the development of the ground ball to short, and then the sac fly. So credit UNF for taking advantage of some opportunities as they presented themselves, as the 1-1 is a breaking ball in at the knees for a strike. Mason Adams just right back to business, trying to make sure that he keeps this to just a 1-run game. Ahead in the count here, 1-2 on Spratling-Williams, and settles back on to the first base side of the rubber. A cursory glance over to first to check on Westbrook and his 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss on another breaking ball, and the second strikeout of the ball games for Adams ends the inning. But North Florida scores first on the Aiden Sweat sacrifice fly. It's 1-0 Ospreys. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, you're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports. One 0 North Florida leading Jacksonville in the bottom of the 4th inning. Blake DeLamiler leading things off for the Dolphins against Peter Holden. First two men reach for North Florida to start the 4th and move a guy over in the fielder's choice and get him in on a sac fly to draw first blood. And we've got a delay to the start of this inning. We're missing a right fielder. And there he is. Must have lost his glove or something. Or maybe he misplaced his sunglasses on top of his head. He heads back out to right field, and Now we're ready to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch into Delamiler is a called strike at the top of the zone. And then low and away, called strike two to Delamiler. Blake Delamiler has one of the toughest strike zones against him. It feels like it is just way bigger than everyone else's. He can never seem to buy a break when it comes to close pitches going his way. And now he fouls one off to stay alive, a breaking ball down and in. There were a couple times against Liberty last weekend where he's taken two straight pitches that are two balls off to the right, and next thing you know, he's behind 0-2. And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do with these pitches? 0-2, he fouls back again, so he's protecting here down in the count, catching a piece of the last two pitches from Holden, who's at 48 pitches now on the night. The lefty delivers again and strikes out. Delamiler looking on a frisbee slider on the outside. So Holden picks up his second K of the ball game. One out here in the fourth.
Second baseman, number 4,
Jesus Pacheco, who reached on an error back in the second. Up for the second time here today. Pitch is down and outside, ball one to Pacheco. Entering this weekend, Jacksonville, North Florida tied in the standings record-wise. Stetson a little bit behind them, but needing RPI to get in those final spots. The 1-0 is up and in. North Florida has some work to do. This is a very big series for them as they enter this weekend at 148. They are actually behind 147, excuse me. They're actually behind Stetson, who is 142. Fastball high and away, 3-0. Jacksonville at 101, so a little more separation there. Ball four high and away. And a four-pitch walk to Pacheco, who's on base for the second time here tonight. And Jacksonville has a one-out base runner in the fourth. That's the first man to reach against Holden since
the catcher, number
Jonah Diaz on that fielder's choice. Runner at first, one out, and Jake Berg, who is 0 for 1 today with the strikeout. First pitch, swung on and missed. Pacheco takes his lead over at first. Holden comes home with the 0-1 and nearly hits Berg on a pitch inside. Berg started just one of the three games against the Ospreys earlier this year, went 1 for 5 in that game, as he takes on the outer half called strike two. 1-2 here to the Jacksonville catcher with the runner at first and one out. Berg steps out for a moment, now back in. Holden delivers the 1-2 pitch, and Berg pops it up right side of the infield. Sweat jogging in near the edge of the infield grass, makes the catch halfway between first and second for out number 2.
The designated hitter, number 20.
There's Tommy Joseph.
Tommy Joseph.
Jacksonville has had base runners in this ball game, but just one hit so far. That was Elias Flowers' single back in the first. Peter Holden doing a nice job keeping the Dolphins off balance. Again, a ball down to the dirt called strike one. Holden last week, 5 1/3 against Stetson, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. As he misses down and away to Joseph this time to even the count at 1. His best 2 starts of the year at home against Kennesaw State and on the road at Stetson. 9 innings and 8 innings respectively in those. Both wins for Holden. 1-1 pitch, runner goes. Pitches outside for a ball to throw down to second. And Sweat puts the tag on Pacheco as he slides underneath him and tags him out for the final out of the inning. So Pacheco caught stealing to end the 4th. It's 1-0. Jacksonville trailing North Florida through 4 here at John Sessions Stadium. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins.
At the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute.
1-0 North Florida in the top of the 5th inning. Mason Adams back out to start things off, and he locates a strike to Dallin Leach, who is 0 for 1 here on the day. The 0-1 pitch, and he takes low to even the count. Adams giving up the 2 hits and the 1 run back in the 4th. We'll see how he settles in here this inning. 1-1 pitch and a half-hearted swing by Leach to fall behind 1-2. Adams just topped the 50 pitch mark. He's at 51 here on the night as he delivers the 1-2, and Leach strikes out looking. Takes it on the inner half. And that is back-to-back Ks for Mason Adams, who got Spratling Williams to end the 4th, and now Leach here to start the 5th. 3 strikeouts now in the ball game for Adams, who's up to 96 on the year. First pitch to Grant Grodi, and the lefty takes outside ball 1. Base is empty, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning here at JU. Pitch is in at the knees for a strike to even the count. 1-1 here on Grodi. One off the end of the bat into the netting. 0-2 on the senior from Ocala. a Forest High School product. Sam Armstrong, former Dolphin third baseman from Forest in Ocala. Slow roller to the right side. Scooped by Coy Pell, says, I'll take it myself. And he beats Grodi to the bag at first for round number 2.
The center fielder, number 10, Justin Holmes.
And so now Justin Holmes 0 for 1 on the day, having popped up into foul territory his first time up. Bases empty, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. North Florida leading Jacksonville 1-0. Holmes, a Seminole State transfer from Windermere, Florida. Redshirt senior. And he watches a breaking ball catch the plate at the knees for strike 1. Second year on the team for Holmes, who takes a fastball upstairs to even the count. Has been in and out of the lineup through conference play, averaging about 2 games played in per series. Flies this one out to deep center field. Ridley on the run, back to the wall, and Holmes hits a home run. His 4th of the year, Justin Holmes, batting just over 200, gets a hold of one and parks it over the right center field wall. Not a cheapie, because there are no such thing as cheapies here at this ballpark. And he makes it 2-0.
Number 8, Isaiah Byers.
Inning continues for Isaiah Byers. Bases empty, still 2 outs. And a foul ball knocked off to the right side by Byers to start. A 0-1 pitch from Adams. And Byers checks his swing and a ball down in the dirt. Byers today 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs. Leadoff man hitting .330 for the Ospreys. The 1-1 offering from the right-hander is right on the outside part of the plate. Called ball 2. Two 1 low. Adams steps off for a moment to collect himself, reaches down into the dirt, grabs some on his fingertips. Try not to lose Byers here and have one mistake pitch snowball into a little bit more. 3-1, and that is flown down the right field line, but it is tracking out of play and does land beyond the visiting bullpen, currently empty down the right field line, beyond where the folks from Black Knight Financial are set up here tonight in the right field terrace. Payoff pitch, and Byers shoots one to right field. DeLamler doesn't even move, waits on it to reach his glove for out number 3. So North Florida gets 1 on the solo home run from Justin Holmes, and it's 2-0 Ospreys as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. leading it off for Jacksonville in the bottom of the 5th inning. He was at the plate when Jesus Pacheco was caught stealing to end the 4th. 2-0 North Florida leading Jacksonville. Holden starts things off with a low pitch called a strike. And this one, breaking ball down and in, makes it 1-1 here to Joseph, who walked his first time up. Holden's 62nd pitch of the night is a swing and a miss. Joseph out to collect himself for a moment before getting back in. Holden shakes off a pitch in 2 and now has what he wants. The lefty sets and deals, and Joseph strikes out swinging, chasing upstairs. For Holden, he collects his 3rd strikeout of the ball game and his 47th of the year. Brings up Jonah Diaz with the bases empty and 1 out. First pitch swinging and a fly ball to shallow center field. Going back, Byers can't make the play over his shoulder in shallow center. And it drops for a base hit for Jonah Diaz.
The center fielder, number 12.
That was well placed by Diaz. Holmes sprinting in from center. Wasn't able to get there in time, and a very difficult play for Byers going out with a ball that was tailing away from him. And he ended up trying to reach back over his head to make the catch, and it landed just out of his reach. So a 1-out base runner. Stop me if you've heard that one before here tonight. For Jacksonville, Cam Ridley, a flare to second base, caught by Sweat, who throws back to first. Diaz able to get back to the bag in time to avoid being doubled off.
The shortstop, number 2, Chase Malloy.
So it's up to Chase Malloy to try and keep this inning going and avoid Jacksonville wasting another base runner here in the 5th. Dolphins have had men aboard in every inning except for the 3rd here against Holden. 2 on in the first 2 innings, 1 on in the last 2, and the first pitch from Holden to Malloy is ruled to have missed outside for ball 1. Chase today is 0 for 2. Malloy entered today batting .368 in his last 10. The 1-0 is a called strike on the outer half. An on-base percentage of .457 in his last 10 games. But he is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. One of the rare flyouts we've seen here this evening. Both pitchers have been pitching to ground ball contact for much of the evening. They check on Diaz, who's back in standing at first before Holden even throws over there. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. Runner at first, Diaz, with Jacksonville trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And another throw over to check. Inside, nearly hits Malloy, who is 1 time being hit away from setting the new school record for single hit by pitches in a season. He is currently tied with Zach Osbeck for 16 in a year. Osbeck back in 1996 was hit by 16 pitches. 2-1 misses outside. Andy Escala and John Volstead were hit by 13 in a season in 93 and 99 respectively. A bunch of guys were hit 11 times in a season. A fly ball knocked out a play to the right side makes it a full count here on Malloy. More recently, Ruben Samayan was plunked 11 times in 2019. He was hit 10 times in 2018. Seth DeWitt was hit 10 times in 2016, as was J.J. Gould. Runner at first, 2 outs, the payoff pitch to Malloy, and a swing and a miss. And that ends the inning on Peter Holden's 4th strikeout of the ball game. He has done his job to work around base runners almost every inning, and he keeps his team in front by 2. 2-0. Ospreys lead it as we head to the 6th. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins. North Florida leading Jacksonville in the top of the 6th inning. A sacrifice fly by Aiden Sweat, a solo home run by Justin Holmes. The runs scored so far here in this one. And Brock Edge, who got everything started back in the 4th with his leadoff single up the gut. The first hit of the game, came around to score the first run of the game, stands in to face Mason Adams. Adams out to start the 6th, and his first pitch is ruled a little high on outside, ball 1 to the lefty swinging Edge. Adams at 66 pitches through 5. And delivers the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball downstairs. Jacksonville pitcher Matt Tomshaw threw out the former Jacksonville pitcher Matt Tomshaw threw out the first pitch here tonight as a representative of Black Knight. Tomshaw, I think, officially retired finally after a long career in the professional baseball ranks. And he is one of those great success stories, someone who seems like they probably never should have made it. And the odds were certainly stacked against him. 1-1 is a fastball in the inner half called ball 2. Tomshaw was drafted in 2011, and he went in the 42nd round of the 2011 draft. That is a round that doesn't even exist anymore as Adams misses low to make it 3-1. You can't even find a round that deep anymore in the Major League Baseball draft, and he is a guy who pitched professionally all the way up until last season, so over a decade in the pro ranks. 3-1 pitch, and that is fouled out of play to the left side. He climbed as high as AAA a couple of times as he worked his way through the Nationals, the White Sox, the Marlins organizations. Pitched here for the Jacksonville Suns back about 6 or so years ago as a Southern League All-Star. Developed a changeup at the professional level, and that ended up being what allowed him to succeed at such a high level. Fastball on the inner half, and it is called ball 4. Jake Berg was up ready to throw it around the horn, but inside the lefties, outside part of the plate to righties, that just has not existed here tonight for home plate umpire Jeremy Dupree. So Edge draws the walk. He is on to start the 6th. Second time he's been on base here tonight, and here comes Abraham Sequeira. A throw over to first to check on Edge. Tom Shaw was second team All-A-Sun in 2010. He made the 2011 All-Tournament team for Jacksonville as they went to a regional that year. First pitch breaking ball ruled to have missed low. To Sequeira, who's 1 for 2 today with a single. Tom Shaw was a workhorse in that season as well as the pitch misses outside, now 2-0. 2011, he led the team in ERA with a 3.69. He led the team in CGs that year with 2. He had 76 strikeouts to lead the Dolphins that season as well. That pitch right at the knees called ball 3, and all of a sudden the zone has shrunk to a postage stamp. North Florida doing the right thing here. They are letting Jeremy Dupree do the work for him. No need to swing. 3-0 pitch, and that one called a strike on the inner half. Tom Shaw, 5 complete games in his career. Pretty impressive stuff. You don't see that kind of a number really anymore. A throw over to first. It bounces away from Coypel, but it does not roll very far. Fortunately for the Dolphins, he's able to scoop it up before Edge can get back to his feet and think about advancing. Nobody out and a runner at first here in the 6th. 2-0 North Florida leading. And a 3-1 count on Abraham Sequeira. Adams comes home and bounces this one away from Berg. Ball 4. It rolls up the first base line. A big turnaround second for Edge, but he holds up there. And back-to-back walks here to start the 6th. And here comes pitching coach Jerry Edwards. So the 6th starting in somewhat similar fashion that the 4th did, with the leadoff first 2 men reaching. Those were both singles. Now it's walks. The 2nd and 3rd walks issued at the ball game for Adams, and his 24th and 5th of the season in 78 and 2/3 innings pitched. A pretty good number as far as a low amount of strikes, or walks, allowed by Adams. His strikeout to walk ratio is tilted heavily in favor of the K's. But here today, he has walked 3 and fanned 3. Adams hasn't finished a 7th inning since the 14th of April against Stetson. His longest out of the year was 8 against Butler back on March the 4th. 8 innings, he struck out 13, which matched the single game high for a Dolphin pitcher, and allowed just 1 run on 4 hits. Most walks he has surrendered in a ball game, 4 against FGCU 2 weeks ago right here at this field. First pitch in at the knees for a strike. A fastball from Adams to Cade Westbrook, who is 0 for 2 today, reached down to fielder's choice back in the 4th. First and second, no one out. Oh, 1 from Adams, and he buries a breaking ball inside that is knocked down by Berg. Jacksonville has not turned a double play yet here today. Westbrook nearly bounced into one his last time up. And they throw a back pick, and they got him at first. What a play on the pickoff move with Coypel sneaking behind Sekera, and Adams picks him off for out number 1. Dolphins have run that play a couple of times this year, or at least called that play a couple of times this year. That's the first time I can remember it being successful here this season, but that was perfectly executed for a much-needed out number 1 here in the 6th. Sekera caught napping. He's out. Edge still at second base with 1 out, and a 1-1 pitch coming here to Westbrook. Misses downstairs. No chance for a double play, or at least a very unlikely chance at a double play. But it's amazing how going from 2 on, nobody out to 1 on, 1 out can change the complexity of an inning. But Adams misses high. Now 3 balls and a strike to Westbrook. Long hold here for Adams before delivering the pitch, trying to avoid his 3rd walk of the inning. Comes home, and a ground ball right side. Picked up by Coypel, tosses to Adams, leading him. He makes the catch and then beats Westbrook to the bag for out number 2. 2 outs. Edge advances down to 3rd on the play, and it's up to Aiden Sweat to try and drive him in again. No chance at a sacrifice fly this time for Sweat with 2 outs in the inning. He drove in his 35th run of the season with that sac fly back in the 4th to get the scoring started. Runner at 3rd, 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, 2-0 North Florida leading Jacksonville. The first pitch is a slider low. Women's lacrosse advancing in the NCAA tournament with a win here today as a breaking ball misses down low and makes it 2-0. 20-8, the Dolphins knocked off Pac-12 champion Stanford. Dolphins ranked 17th in the country, Stanford 14th, but it was not really a close one. 8-0 at the end of 1, and the Dolphins never looked back, weathering a couple of weather delays throughout the course of the afternoon. And advance to play Florida on Sunday now. 2-0 pitch. Down and in. 3-0 here to Sweat. So Jacksonville will try to atone not only an earlier season loss to Florida this season. Dolphins fell to the Gators back on the 27th of April, 12-6 in Gainesville. But also will try to beat him after losing to him in the NCAA tournament last year. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 3-1. Air Canada flying overhead. 3-1. And that is called strike 2 on a low breaking ball. Boy, that pitch has been a ball all night long. And this time gets called a strike. A break there for Adams and the Dolphins. A full count now. We'll see if Mason can take advantage of it. Runner at 3rd, 2 outs. Adams trying to strand a man in scoring position and keep this a 2-run game and hold the Ospreys off the board for the first time since the 3rd. Payoff pitch, and Sweat spoils it foul. 87th pitch of the night here for Mason Adams. And it's a little poker back to the mound, fielded off one hop by Adams, who jogs toward the bag at first, tosses underhand to Coypel the rest of the way, and ends the inning, stranding the man at third. After the leadoff runner reaches on the walk, he gets all the way within 90 feet, but is left there. And Mason Adams is through 6 here at home
No runs, no hits.
on this Friday night. 2-0 North Florida leading Jacksonville. Dolphin offense looks to get something going against Peter Holden when we return. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphin Sports Network. Elias Flowers leading off the bottom of the 6th, and he takes one off the right knee from Peter Holden to start the inning. So Flowers hit by a pitch, the second Dolphin hit here tonight. Christian Coypel was plunked back in the first. And for the first time since the second, Jacksonville has the leadoff man aboard as the Dolphins trail 2-0 in this 6th inning. And Coach Hayes and trainer Bo Owens down there checking with Flowers. He's the guy that just seems to attract baseballs hitting him in difficult ways. He was tried to bunt on Friday night against Liberty. A pitch came up and in and got him on the hand, but also got the bat, so it was a foul ball. But he ended up having to exit that game later on in the night because of the pain to his hand on a cool evening in Lynchburg, Virginia. Here is Christian Coypel with a runner at first and no one out. Jacksonville trying to erase a 2-0 deficit in the 6th. Holden delivers in a slapper foul right side by Coypel to start. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out and was also hit by that pitch in the first. Peter Holden just delivered his 73rd pitch of the night, working here in the 6th. Some action starting in the North Florida bullpen. A right-hander starting to get loose. The pitch, and a swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him. Coypel on a bit of a cold streak as far as runs batted in are concerned. He has just 1 in his last 10 games. Off the end of the bat, a poke down the third base line. Scooped by Sakara, charging, throws low to first, dug out by Grodi for out number 1. Flowers advances down to second on the play. And a nice play made at third base by Abraham Sakara for the first out of the inning on a cue shot that just stayed fair down the third base line. So Jacksonville, the man in scoring position for the first time since the second inning. And Blake DeLamiler, who is 0 for 2 here this evening, climbs into the box. Well, no one had more success against North Florida the first time around this season, and no one's had more success here as of late than Blake. Good spot for him to be up here. And the first pitch is well outside, ball 1. He is grounded into a double play and struck out looking. He had 3 hits and 7 at-bats, drew 5 walks against the Ospreys in the first 3 games he played against him this year, stole 3 bases in that series over at UNF. The 1-0. And he tips this one into the mitt of Leach for strike 1. Holden has had men in scoring position with less than 2 outs several times already before here tonight as he misses upstairs to make it 2-1. And he has worked his way effectively around each of those pickles to hold Jacksonville scoreless. No runs on just 2 hits for JU, who has had their fair share of free base runners here tonight. And you figure you keep putting guys on for free, whether it's hit batsmen or walks, eventually you're going to get burned. But Holden hasn't been yet. 2-1 pitch, and DeLamiler grooves one into left field for a base knock. Flowers holds up at third. The throw to the plate, 1 hops into Leach. And DeLamiler, with the Dolphins' 3rd hit of the evening, puts runners at the corners with 1 out for Jesus Pacheco. And now we have a mound visit from pitching coach Tommy Boss. First time we have seen him chat with Holden here tonight. Peter Holden at 79 pitches has hit a batter and given up a single now in this 6th inning. Each of the last 2 Dolphins have put the ball in play against him. Really, both starting pitchers have been very good here tonight. Adams really probably only 1 mistake pitch, maybe 2. Couple of tough walks against him. Boss on a jog back to the first base dugout, and Jesus Pacheco up with a chance to get Jacksonville on the board here in the 6th.
Pacheco.
So funny how this series seems to play out completely differently based off of where you play it. If this game is across town, the score would probably be 6-5 right now. But over here we are in a pitcher's duel, 2-0, bottom of the 6th, but Jacksonville threatening runners at the corners with 1 out, and showing bunt, Pacheco fouls it straight back. So the Dolphins try to get a little tricky with it there. Place one down, squeeze a run in, but Pacheco cannot get the bunt down. And now the cat is out of the proverbial bag. So we'll see what Coach Hayes dials up here in an 0-1 count. Holden steps off the rubber and rears back like he's ready to throw to third. Flowers dives back in without a throw. The 0-1. And a ground ball down to the left side. Fielded by Byers. On to second. Relay throw on to first. Not in time. And Jacksonville gets a run on the RBI ground out by Jesus Pacheco to make it 2-1.
The catcher,
Good hard slide by Blake DeLamiler into second. May have just disrupted that throw from Aiden Sweat just enough. And is what is typically the case. It seems like every time somebody breaks up a double play by sliding into a bag, a coach has to ask a question about it. And head coach Tim Parrington out chatting with Landon Davis, and it was a pretty short chat as everybody's back into their respective spots. And the play stands 2-1. Jacksonville trailing, runner at first, 2 outs. First pitch swinging. Jake Berg fouls it off of his foot. He is 0 for 2 here tonight. Dolphins have done just enough to break through here finally against Holden, taking advantage of the leadoff man being hit by a pitch. Now, can they string together some success against Holden is the question. 0-1 swung on and missed, a slider away from Berg. And now the 0-2, down and away. And strike 3 called on a changeup away to Berg, and that ends the inning, stranding a man at first. But Jacksonville gets on the board thanks to the RBI ground out by Jesus Pacheco. The Dolphins second baseman drives in his 17th of the year and cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1. North Florida leading Jacksonville as we head to the 7th. You are listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Two to one. Jacksonville getting one back in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we start the final third of this ball game with North Florida holding on to their 1-run lead, looking to add to it here against Jacksonville's Mason Adams, back out to start the 7th at 87 pitches. He has surrendered the 2 runs on 3 hits so far here tonight. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. One of his strikeout victims is this man, Trey Spratling-Williams, who waves at it and misses strike 1 to start the 7th. Spratling-Williams, Dallin Leach, Grant Grodi due up here in the 7th for the Ospreys, the 0-1. And that is a fastball at the knees called ball 1. Ground ball hit to the right side. Behind the bag at first. It's gloved by Coy Pell. Couple of steps in and he taps the bag with the left toe, and that ends It's Trey Spratling's third at bat without number 1 here in the 7th.
The catcher, number 24, Dallin Leach.
Here's Leach 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch, a curveball in the inner half called ball 1 into Leach, who popped up to second base and struck out looking so far here this inning, 3rd and 5th innings respectively. The 1-0. And that one is a slider in for a strike. Adams trying to get through here this 7th inning. 1-1 pitch, and he locates with a heater on the outside edge to move ahead 1-2. And depending on how quick he can get through it, we'll come back out likely for the 8th inning. He has thrown well over 100 pitches each of his last several times out as he buries a breaking ball. The only outing he has thrown under 100 pitches was his very first start of the year when he threw 88 in 4 2/30 against High Point back on the 18th of February. 2-2 pitch, and he hits Leach on the head with a breaking ball that slips out of his hand. Adams down to check with Leach to make sure he's all right. He gives him a thumbs up as he runs down to first, and a rarity, a hit batsman by Mason Adams, and that puts a runner at first with 1 out. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-1 North Florida in the top of the 7th. Grant Grodi, 0 for 1 with a walk. And he takes down and away, ball 1 to start. One-0 pitch, and that one located on the outside corner. Ball and a strike to Grodi. And well located fastball on the outside edge for strike 2. One-two pitch, and a flare out into left center field on the run. Diving catch made by Flowers. He throws it back in where desperately Leach retreats back to the bag at first and just does get in ahead of it. What a play made by Eli Flowers, full extension Superman style out in left field. He lost his hat, he lost his sunglasses, but he didn't lose the baseball, and that's the most important part. And a huge second out of the inning on a web gem in left. I thought maybe Ridley had a better chance at it initially, but saw that ball was tailing away from him, and next thing I know, Eli is in flight. And he comes down with a second big catch out there this year. First pitch into Justin Holmes, misses low. Holmes homered his last time up. He stands in with 2 outs and a runner at first in the top of the 7th inning. Adams delivers the 1-0 pitch and bends in a breaking ball on the inner half on his 101st pitch of the night. 2-1 North Florida. 2 outs, runner at first, 1-1 count of the 9-hole hitter Holmes. Adams comes home and locates with a heater on the low outside corner to make it 1-2. Mason Adams' strikeout numbers have gone down each of his last 3 starts coming into this one. He had 7 at Kennesaw State, 4 against FGCU, just 2 against Liberty last week. He's got 3 here today. Would love another one right here to end the inning. 1-2 pitch. Holmes, ground ball down to second. Pacheco decides to go on to second base and flips underhand to the covering Malloy, and that ends the inning. So the hit by pitch does not come back to burn the Dolphins, thanks in part due to Elias Flowers, sensational play out in left field. It's stretch time here at John Sessions Stadium. 2-1, North Florida leading Jacksonville. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Bottom of the seventh inning, Jacksonville trailing 2-1 against North Florida here on this Friday night. And the first pitch from Peter Holden, a strike on the outside corner. Joseph Diaz Ridley due up here for Jacksonville as Holden starts the seventh with his 86th pitch of the night. His 87th is popped up foul territory right side. Leach giving a long chase over there, as does Holden. They both run out of room as that lands onto the walkway in front of the seats off to our right. 0-2 here on Joseph, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. Pitch misses outside to Joseph, 1-2 to the Jacksonville DH. And down and away again, makes it 2-2. Holden comes home with the 2-2 pitch and bends a breaking ball to the outer edge, but just a little too far outside, according to home plate umpire Jeremy Dupree. Outside, ball 4. And Tommy Joseph draws a leadoff walk after falling behind 0-2 in the count to start. And for the second straight inning, Jacksonville puts the leadoff man on. Flowers came around to score in the 6th. And Jacksonville goes to a pinch runner. Here is Clayton Hodges coming in for Tommy Joseph, as Jacksonville tries to tie this game up in the 7th.
For your Dolphins, number 18, Clayton Hodges. Now batting, the third baseman, number 9, Jonah Diaz.
So here is Jonah Diaz Runner at first, no one out. Do they ask Diaz to bunt here, or does he swing away? And he squares and gets it down first base side. Great play made by Holden to stab and snag that one, running to his left, and he takes it all the way himself to the bag for out number one. I thought that ball had a good chance to get past Holden and got all the way down to second, in which it would have been probably a bit of a bang-bang play with Sweat charging in on it. But Holden does it all himself, showing some athleticism on the mound as he fields that bunt despite the lefty falling off the mound to the third base side. So a successful sacrifice moves the tying run into scoring position, and Cam Ridley is up. And here is Tommy Boss back out to the mound. The North Florida pitching coach chatting with Holden, who is at 92 pitches here tonight. Ospreys still have a righty down there getting loose. It is Cam Ridley, the right-hander, coming to the plate, so you would figure if you're going to make a pitching change for a matchup, this would be the one to go ahead and do it for. But just a strategy conversation instead. Holden stays out there with the tying run in scoring position. And Cam Ridley, who is 0 for 2 here tonight, stepping into the box. Jacksonville's 9-hole hitter with the top of the order on deck. Holden kicks the leg up high and looks Hodges back to second. First pitch ruled a little bit outside there to Ridley, ball one. Hodges takes his lead down at second base. The 1-0 pitch inside on Ridley, who moves ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. The Jacksonville center fielder, 17 driven in this year, homered against North Florida earlier this season. Bouncing the bat off of his right shoulder as he awaits the 2-0 and fouls this one back into the netting behind home plate.
Everybody clap your hands.
Big spot here for Ridley. 2-1 pitch. And it is ball 3 outside. So Chase Malloy standing on deck if Ridley gets on here via a walk, which he's 1 pitch away. Hodges with great speed down at second. 3-1. Ball 4 outside. So Peter Holden walks his 4th of the night. And here comes head coach Tim Parrington. And we have a pitching change on our hands. First and second, Jacksonville with a tying run in scoring position. The go-ahead run on base with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. And the Ospreys going to the pen for the first time here tonight. Right-hander coming in. We'll let you know who it is when we return. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Stephen Halstead, the new pitcher for North Florida, checking in for the Ospreys and inheriting runners at first and second. With one out here in the seventh, Jacksonville trailing 2-1. First pitch from Halstead. Malloy shoots it into center field, a base hit. They wave Hodges around. The throw from Holmes to the plate is in time, and Hodges out at the plate for out number 2. Hodges a little bit slow, holding up to see if that ball would be caught. Aiden Sweat did a little bit of a deke out there, acting like he was going to catch it. And I don't know if that slowed up Hodges enough, but waved around third on a ball that Holmes was able to get to in shallow center field, and he threw a strike into the plate to beat Hodges there. And for the second time in the last week, Jacksonville makes an out at the plate. Runners at the corners, still a 2-1 lead for North Florida. And the first pitch to Elias Flowers misses in from Halstead, ball 1. Ridley advanced around to third on the play. And that one low to Flowers, 2-0. Halstead appearing for the 19th time this season, the saves leader for North Florida, delivers the 2-0 and misses high. He had a save against Jacksonville earlier this year. He threw an inning and a third on Saturday as he gets a strike over the outside corner to make it 3-1. In the Saturday win, struck out one, did not allow a base runner. So that hit by Malloy on the very first pitch he saw from Halstead is the first hit he's allowed against the Dolphins this year. In an inning and 2/3 of work. 1-2, low. Ball 4, and that loads the bases with 2 outs for Christian Coypel. Well, if there was ever a time for that RBI
First baseman.
or streak without an RBI to come to a close for Leppy, now is it. Coypel, 1 grand slam this year. That was against FIU back on the 13th of March. First pitch bounces in the dirt and is blocked by Leach. Coypel's last RBI came on May 1st. He drove in 4 against FGCU. He stands in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Jacksonville trailing 2-1. In the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 pitch and a foul ball straight back. Dolphins just have not been able to really capitalize on these bases loaded opportunities. You think back to last Saturday, JU loaded the bases multiple times against Liberty and scored runs, but it was all singles and scoring 1 at a time. Loaded them on Friday, loaded them on Sunday, and ended up with nothing to show for him. Loaded him a couple of times on Tuesday against Florida State. 1-1 pitch is in for a strike. And only got 1 run out of the multiple bases loaded situations across the 2 games of the doubleheader, and that's when Pacheco was hit by a pitch. Jacksonville looking for someone not named Jonah Diaz to come up in a bases loaded situation here. 1-2 off the end of the bat to the left side. Byers backhands, throws on to second. Not in time. Everybody is safe, and this game is tied at 2 as Flowers slides in ahead of the throw. And Coypel with an RBI infield single to tie the game up at 2.
the right fielder, number 23, Blake DeLameler.
Ridley scores. We're tied at 2, and now Blake DeLameler with the bases still juiced and 2 outs. Malloy at third, Flowers at second, Coypel at first. Halstead's first pitch, and it is downstairs and blocked by Leach. DeLameler, the 7th man to the plate here in the 7th inning. You can officially close the book on Holden. That run scoring Ridley charged to him, so he gives up 2 runs here tonight on 3 hits. The 1-0, and that is in for a strike. Jacksonville has scored runs in each of the last 2 innings to tie it up. Can they take the lead? 1-1 pitch, a fastball low. Jacksonville has lost 4 games by a total of 5 runs here in the last week. A lot of close ones. 1-1 pitch, and a bloop towards shallow left field over the head of the shortstop Byers. Malloy scores. Flowers scores. Into third goes Coypel. A 2 RBI single to left by Blake DeLameler, and Jacksonville leads 4-2. RBI number 21 and 22 for Blake D this year.
The second baseman, number 4, Jesus Pacheco.
And here is the 8th man to the plate here in the 7th inning, Jesus Pacheco, as Jacksonville has done all of this damage off of the Osprey bullpen with 2 outs. And a play at the plate for the second out prevented another run from scoring. A first pitch fastball, a strike on the low outside corner to Pacheco. Halstead has given up 3 hits and walked 1 since coming in out of the pen. Comes home and Pacheco fouls it out of play to the right side. Halstead entered tonight's game having allowed only 18 runs, only 11 earned on 29 hits this year. Opponents hitting .252 off of him, his ERA .354 with 35 strikeouts and 10 walks. 0-2 pitch, kicks away from Leach, and DeLameler, Johnny on the spot, advances on the wild pitch. So now Jacksonville with 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs. And Pacheco with a chance with a base hit to plate 2 more. Ball and 2 strikes on the Jacksonville second baseman who drove in the first run of the night for Jacksonville last inning. 1-2 pitch, and he lays off of 1 low. Coypel at third, DeLameler with good speed at second. 2-2 pitch, and Pacheco shoots 1 foul off to the right side. Pacheco has been on base all 3 times tonight but does not have a hit. Has reached on an error, has walked, and has reached on a fielder's choice in which he drove in a run. Halstead's 2-2. And another foul ball in the same spot. The senior from Pensacola, Halstead, comes home with another 2-2 and a ground ball down to second base. Sweat 1 step to his right, fields and throws, and gets the final out of the inning there. But Jacksonville plates 3 here in the 7th, go from trailing 2-1 to leading 4-2. We head to the 8th. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Florida. Dolphins have rallied from down 2-0. And Jacksonville making a pitching change here to start the 8th. Bryce Fisher enters the ball game as the Dolphin bullpen looks to preserve the lead here and help Jacksonville take game 1 of this 3-game set against the crosstown rivals.
The shortstop, number 8, Isaiah Byers.
Isaiah Byers in the top of the North Florida order up to lead things off in the 8th. And the first pitch from Fisher is a slider on the outside corner for a strike. Fisher hands over his head, comes home with the 0-1, and that is fouled out of play to the right side. Quickly 0-2 on Isaiah Byers. Pop up right side of the infield. Coming over Coypel in foul territory in front of the North Florida dugout, makes the catch. Out number 1. Bryce Fisher making his 17th appearance out of the bullpen this year. He's now at 33 2/3 innings pitched this season, has allowed just 9 earned runs on 24 hits, 32 strikeouts, 15 walks. Opponents hitting just over the Mendoza line against him, as Brock Edge, the lefty, takes ball 1 high and outside. Fisher's ERA entering tonight 2.43, second best on the team behind only the closer Tyler Vogel. The pitch, and that's high and away, 2-0. Edge has singled and scored here tonight, has also walked, but in what was a big development back in the 6th inning. He walked to lead off the inning. Sekera walked behind him. Mason Adams picked off Sekera, and Edge advanced all the way around to third and was stranded there. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner to Edge to make it 2-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on Edge there, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases empty, 1 out. Top of the 8th inning, 4-2. Jacksonville leading. And he comes home again, and Edge fights one off. A fastball that challenged him inside. Makes it 2-2 again. 6 combined runs on 9 combined hits. The Ospreys with the lone error of the night here this evening in a game in which the pitching has been quite good, but there's been some timely hitting throughout the course of the evening. 2-2, and Edge fouls off a changeup. So he stays alive in a 2-2 count. Fisher with the glove up in front of his face now comes home with another 2-2. And a really good breaking ball on the outside half that Edge takes and is rewarded for the take. Full count. Fisher goes to the rosin bag before climbing back onto the rubber, tugs up that sleeve that partially covers his right elbow. He's back on first base side of the rubber, payoff pitch. And Edge catches a piece of another one. And this is a long at-bat here to the 2-hole hitter, the Florida transfer, Brock Edge. He had 6 hits in the first series against Jacksonville this year. Another payoff pitch, grounded foul. A About to be a 10-pitch at-bat here to Brock Edge. Good thing Fisher's fresh. He last pitched on Tuesday night. Inherited a couple of base runners, and they came in to score, but he kept it close in Tallahassee. But the Dolphins unable to come away with the lead late. Sky high pop-up nearly to the moon right side, and Coypel up against the railing in the North Florida dugout, unable to get to that one. Fifth foul ball of the AB for Brock Edge, and the 11th pitch of this appearance coming up. Fisher misses high and away, ball 4, and Edge fired up as he draws the one-out walk, winning the battle of wills between he and Fisher here in the 8th.
The third baseman, number 13.
Fisher has not allowed a hit in an inning and 2/3 against North Florida this year. He threw in relief on Saturday against the Ospreys back in April. He did walk 2 men in that outing, and now has walked a third here against UNF this season. Here is Abraham Sequeira, still batting left-handed. The switch hitter takes up and away, ball 1 to start. Fisher retired Isaiah Byers on an 0-2 pitch on a pop-out, third pitch he threw, and then he had to throw 11 before Brock Edge drew a walk. Now a 1-0 here to Sequeira. Ground ball right side and through into right field. Edge holding up at second base, but it's kicked by DeLamiler, and now Edge goes to third. So an error in right allows the runner to advance. And there are runners at the corners with the tying run aboard for Cade Westbrook with 1 out in the 8th. And a rare miscue for DeLamiler out there, who must have just taken his eyes off the baseball for a moment as he came in, perhaps checking to see what Brock Edge was doing. But Edge he was jogging into the bag at second base. Had no thoughts about trying to advance on that one. Jacksonville leading 4-2 in the top of the 8th. First pitch to the lefty Westbrook, and he takes a fastball at the letters for a strike. Sequeira at first, Edge at third, where he has been a lot here tonight. Scored from third in the 4th on the sacrifice fly by Aiden Sweat, was stranded there in the 6th. The 0-1. That's a breaking ball that runs inside on Westbrook to even the count. Well, this is a big inning for a lot of different reasons, and Brock Edge drawing that walk could have ignited this North Florida lineup a little bit here. Showing the fight and the battle. Fisher needs to just settle down and continue to execute pitches here. 1-1. And that is sliced to the left side and out of play. And Fisher has Westbrook right where he wants him here. He's ahead in the count, 2 strikes. He can go ahead and do whatever he needs to get him out. Cade tonight 0 for 3. He has hit the ball on the ground 3 times so far here tonight. Nearly bounced into a double play in the 4th, but reached. 1-2. And he chops it back to the pitcher. Fisher goes on to second. Malloy's relay throw on to first. In time! And a 1-6-3 double play ends the inning.
Double play.
What a play by Fisher and the Dolphins to get out of that jam without allowing a run. It's still 4-2. Jacksonville on top. To the bottom of the 8th we go. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports. leading North Florida in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Tony Roca takes over on the mound for the Ospreys. He makes his first appearance of the year in relief against Jacksonville after he started the Sunday game against the Dolphins back on April the 10th. He threw 5 innings and surrendered 4 runs on 4 hits, striking out 2 and walking 2, as what kickstarted a 12-4 win for Jacksonville. Dolphins trying to make it 2 in a row against the Ospreys here. Jake Berg, the only man who didn't come to the plate for Jacksonville in the 7th, leads it off. And he's probably sitting there going, dang it, you couldn't have left the right-hander in for me. Stephen Halstead on the hook as he exits this ball game, and Roca, the lefty, starts, and his first pitch up and in on Berg for ball 1. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Roca, a Ponte Vedra Beach product. In his 3rd year with the Ospreys, the 1-1. And he locates on the low outside corner to make it 1-2 to Berg. A weekend starter for much of his career, but now transitioning into more of a relief role here late in the season. 1-2 pitch. And that one's fouled off by Berg. For Roca, this is just his 2nd relief appearance of the season. He has made 11 starts, but has an ERA of 6.04 and is 0-6 on the year, with opponents hitting nearly 300 off of him. But a really nice breaking ball away from Berg, a swing and a miss to start things off with a strikeout. The 52nd of the year for Roca to start the 8th. Clayton Hodges, who entered as a pinch runner for Tommy Joseph in the 7th, was thrown out at the plate by Justin Holmes. He gets a chance to swing it for the first time here tonight. First pitch he sees, he takes outside for ball 1. Hodges recorded his first career hit against North Florida earlier this year. And he grounds one right side and through. He not only recorded his first career hit, he had his first career multi-hit game, going 2 for 2. And the Jacksonville native must like playing against the Ospreys, because he is now 3 for 3 in his career against them.
The 3rd baseman, number 9, Jonah Diaz.
Runner at first, 1 out for Jonah Diaz. Diaz today 1 for 2, dropped down a sac bunt his last time up. First pitch, and it hits Diaz right on that right elbow guard as he turned out of the way of it. The 3rd batter hit tonight for Jacksonville by a North Florida pitcher. 2 plunked by the starter Holden, and now 1 by Roca. Seventh man hit by Roca this season. That is the 2nd most for any Osprey pitcher, trailing only Peter Holden, who hit 2 tonight and is up to 13 plunk now on the season. Here's Cam Ridley, runners at first and 2nd and 1 out. Ridley walked and came in to score the tying run last inning. First pitch he sees is a fastball at the letters for a strike. All these guys getting hit tonight, and not one of them named Chase Malloy, who's still one away from setting the all-time single-season record in Jacksonville history. Jacksonville looking for some insurance here in the 8th inning, leading 4-2. Time asked for and granted to Ridley. 0-1 pitch. And Ridley watches that one miss upstairs. Another fastball from Roca. Roca had a season-high 7 strikeouts against Jacksonville last year in a 9-3 win. And led the Ospreys in strikeouts in total last season with 55. 1-1. And Ridley takes strike 2 called. Another fastball at the top of the zone. Hodges at second, hoping for another chance to try and score here tonight after he was gunned out at the plate an inning ago. And Diaz down at first for the second time here this evening. He has not advanced beyond first yet here tonight. 1-2. And a curveball misses low.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
Well, this may be a matchup of the two most deliberate guys in the ballpark here tonight. Roca takes a long time in between pitches. Ridley loves to ask for time and step out and check practice swing and things like that. Trying to ice each other out here. And time granted at the last possible moment to Ridley there, right on cue. And Roca came home with the pitch anyway. And seems a little frustrated as he gets the baseball back. Now the 2-2. And it's a fastball away. Full count worked by Ridley. Eyes on his second walk drawn here of the night. He has received 21 free passes this year. One of 5 Dolphins to have walked 20 or more times this season. Chase Malloy pacing JU with 26. Runners go, 3-2 pitch is crushed out to deep left center field, and it is off the wall in the gap. Hodges scores easily. They put the stop sign up for Diaz at third. Ridley holds at second with a double. That ball was blistered off the bat of Cam Ridley, who collects his 7th double of the season and drives in his 18th run of the year. It's 5-2 Jacksonville.
Chase Malloy.
Back to the top of the order for the 5th time here tonight, and Chase Malloy. Boy, those memories of the struggles on offense long forgotten for Jacksonville, who now have 5 runs on 8 hits here tonight. First pitch to Malloy, a swing and a miss. He is 1 for 4 here on the evening, singling his last time up, last inning, and coming in to score. Second and third, 1 out. The infield is in for North Florida. Diaz at third, Ridley at second. And Malloy wants the signs again. Oh, 1. Swung on and missed as Malloy chases high again, and it's 0-2. Malloy steps out for a moment before climbing back in. Infield in and an 0-2 count here on Malloy. Roca comes home and strikes out Malloy looking at a low fastball. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Tony Roca for the second out of the inning. And Elias Flowers climbs into the box. 1 for 2 here tonight. Has been hit by a pitch and walked. He scored a pair of runs here this evening. He had the first hit of the night for Jacksonville back in the first. 2 on, 2 out. A base hit here would really cement the Dolphins heading into the 9th inning. And time asked for by Leach behind the dish. First pitch from Roca, and a fastball down and away to the lefty swinging Elias Flowers, ball one. We have not seen a wild pitch yet here tonight by either team. I'm not sure we made it through an entire game all year without one of those. 1-0 pitch. When was the one? Ah, yes, the ball that bounced in and allowed for DeLamore to advance on the Holden pitch. I stand corrected. I remembered it as soon as I actually thought about it. Well, the bright side, no wild pitches for Jacksonville pitching here tonight. Down and away, bounces away from the catcher Leach, and here comes Diaz in to score on the Roca wild pitch. I don't want to say I spoke it into existence, but I may have spoken that into existence. 6-2, Jacksonville leads. Dolphins benefiting from a mistake there from the Osprey pitcher. Ridley moves down to third, and the Dolphins enter the ninth no longer in a save situation. So does Fisher come back out, or does Vogel get the call anyway? 1-1 pitch and a foul ball back into the netting. One ball, two strikes to Elias Flowers. Looking for something he can handle here in this lefty-on-lefty matchup. Roca's tried to stay away from him, but has been a little erratic. The curveball runs low and evens the count at 2. Well, from the 6th inning on, this game changed. Jacksonville's Elias Flowers being hit by a pitch to lead off the 6th, and the Dolphins working him around the bases to drive him in to get within 1. And then 8 men coming to the plate in the 7th with 3 scoring to take the lead. 2 more added on here in the 8th. And the 2-2 pitch to Flowers, and he fights it off left side. And Jacksonville got to Holden a little bit late, but then really has found success against the Osprey bullpen, something they did not do in the first 2 games where these teams matched up this year. Dolphins were foiled late in both of those games by the North Florida arms out of the pen. Lifted down the left field line, Sakara giving it a look, but that one hits the oak tree down the left field line and falls into the terrace. And you can hear the fireworks from across the river on a Friday night fireworks tonight from the baseball grounds of Jacksonville over there for the Jumbo Shrimp concluding their action here tonight. 2-2 pitch. Now, that was a 3-2 pitch apparently, and it misses outside. Ball 4 to Flowers. Flowers at first with Ridley at third, and here is Christian Coypel, who drove in his first run since the first of the month, his last time up, and continues to add to his career best with now 44 ribbies this year. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. He's 1 for 3 here on the night. Has also reached on a hit by pitch. Roca comes home, first pitch, and Coypel goes around on a check swing, strike 1. Coypel, one of 5 being honored here this weekend as part of senior weekend in this final home series of the year for Jacksonville. That taking place on Sunday before the game. 0-1 pitch, and that one is fouled off of Leach. 0-2 here on the Jacksonville first baseman. Flowers at first, Ridley at third. 6-2, Jacksonville leading in the bottom of the 8th. Roca bent at the waist with the ball behind his back, waiting for Coypel to climb in. Leppy in there now, and Roca comes set. Here's 0-2. And that's a fastball away. Tried to get Leppy to chase at that one, but he does not offer. One-two, runner heads down to second, pitches outside for ball 2. And Flowers moves into scoring position. Second and third. 2 outs. 2-2, a check swing. They're appealing to see if he went around. He did not. Full count now to Coypel. Well, 3 of the last 4 batters have worked the count full here against Roca, who has thrown 30 pitches, and this is lone inning of relief so far. Blake DeLameler on deck, hoping for another chance at it. Payoff pitch, and Coypel lifts it up down the left field line, and it is out of play. Well, I would say that just about every single at-bat that we've seen here over the course of the last couple of innings for Jacksonville have all been impressive in the fact that they have been competitive. Either Jacksonville finds a way to produce early in it, or they're working themselves deep into counts and either coming away successful or coming away having made the pitcher earn the out. Another payoff pitch here to Coypel, and it's ball 4 high. So consecutive walks issued by Roca, who has also hit a batter here this inning. The bases are loaded for the second straight frame. And Blake DeLameler, who drove in 2 with the bases loaded 1 inning ago, climbs into the box again. Well, Blake already has his 12th multi-hit game of the year. He has 3 3-hit games this season, looking for his 4th. 2 outs, bases loaded, 6-2 Jacksonville, bottom of the 8th. Roca steps off. DeLameler has bounced back strong from the tough start to the night in which he grounded into an inning-ending double play with Jacksonville with a runner in scoring position in the first, struck out looking to start the 4th, singling each of his last 2 times up, and the first pitch fastball runs away. DeLameler, the 8th man to the plate here in the 8th, and there's nowhere to put him for Roca, who has given up a single, a double, and 3 free passes here this inning while striking out 2. 1-0 pitch, and that is a fastball called at the top of the zone for a strike. DeLameler, one of those multiple Jacksonville natives here in this rivalry, and he has certainly found ways to produce. He has 5 hits against the Ospreys this year, and he belts this one out to deep center field. Holmes on the run, back to the track, and he makes the catch before crashing into the wall for out number 3. So DeLameler gives it a ride, but not quite enough on it, and that ends the inning. Jacksonville leaving them loaded, but adding 2 more here in the 8th. It's 6-2. Dolphins on top. As we head to the 9th, Jacksonville looks to close it out. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Ninth inning, and the Dolphins looking to close it out. Tyler Vogel enters the ball game for JU. Non-safe situation, but the most oft-used reliever out of the Jacksonville bullpen core gets a chance to slam the door here in the 9th as he gets Aiden Sweat, Trey Spratling-Williams, and Dallin Leach for the Ospreys. Sweat here tonight is 0 for 2. With a sacrifice fly as he takes a first pitch fastball below the knees for ball 1. And the 1-0 located on the outside edge for a strike. A little flare up the middle, and it drops into shallow center field for a base hit, the first of the day for Aiden Sweat. And the leadoff man reaches for North Florida here in the 9th.
The designated hitter, number 25, Trey Spratling-Williams.
So now Trey Spratling-Williams, as North Florida just needs some base runners here, trailing by 4 in the 9th, to give themselves an opportunity to maybe rally here in this one. Sweat at first. Shift on for Spratling-Williams as the first pitch is a fastball on the outer half for a strike. Malloy situated a little bit to the second base side of the bag, with Pacheco closer to first and Coypel holding the runner on. Now Leppy backs off to get in better defensive positioning here for this shift. The 0-1 at the knees, called ball 1. Jacksonville looking for its first win since last Saturday at Liberty. The 1-1 pitch, and Spratling-Williams lifts this one high and deep out to right field. DeLamiler to the wall, and it is off of the light pole in right, a 2-run home run. And North Florida has the tying run now on deck here in the top of the 9th, trailing 6-4. Second homer of the night for the Ospreys. First run scored since the 5th inning. And for Spratling-Williams, just his second of the year. Still nobody out here in the ninth, and now Dallin Leach coming up. Well, hopefully Vogel can put that one behind him and just get right back in and pretend that here we are starting the inning over. First pitch, a strike at the knees to Leach, who is 0 for 2, having been hit by a pitch in the 7th, the only time he's been on base here tonight. Here's the 0-2, or the 0-1, excuse me, and it runs a little outside. Well, you know, this offense and the way this team fights, they weren't going down without a battle here late. The 1-1. And a foul ball and a slider makes it 1-2. And even in this ballpark, these guys feel like they can hit. And that is evidenced by the fact that they've hit 2 out here tonight, even in the pitcher-friendly John Sessions Stadium. And neither of them have left much doubt either. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Elevated a fastball away. Leach down on strikes for out number 1 here in the 9th. It's Vogel's 36th strikeout of the year.
Number 11, Grant Grody.
Here is Grant Grody, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch the lefty sees is a called strike at the knees, as Vogel whips one into the low corner. Oh, 1. And a little bouncer to the right side. Coypel takes it himself to the bag at first and beats Grody by a step for out number 2. So now Vogel and the Dolphins just 1 out away, as Tyler has settled down after giving up the 2-run homer to sit down the next 2 Ospreys on just 6 pitches. Here is Justin Holmes, 1 for 3 today with a solo shot. Vogel's first, a fastball at the knees, ball 1. Jacksonville, North Florida back in action tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Game 2. 1-0 pitch. Holmes takes in the same spot, this time called strike 1. JU trying for a Friday night win for the first time in a while. 1-1. Fastball runs outside. Last time the Dolphins opened up a series with a win on a Friday night was April the 1st, when they won 6-1 against Liberty. That's also the last time Mason Adams picked up a win, his 4th of the year. He is in line for the win here tonight as Holmes tips one into the mid of Jake Berg, and now the Ospreys down to their final strike. Vogel sets the 2-2 pitch, and Holmes grounds it slowly down to third. Gobbled up by Diaz, throws over to first, but wide of the bag, and pulls Coypel off. So a throwing error extends the ball game and brings the tying run to the plate with 2 outs in the 9th. And it's back to the top of the order, and Isaiah Byers. Second error of the night on Jacksonville.
Number 8, Isaiah Byers.
And Diaz hopefully can put that one behind him quickly. Vogel shifts back with a man on base. His first pitch to Byers is backhanded, a slider down and away by Berg for ball 1. Well, here we are. Things coming down to the wire again. Another tight baseball game played by this Jacksonville team. Their last 4 losses have been decided by a total of 5 runs. Haven't won a tight one here in a while. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. Jacksonville's last close win, May 1st. The walk-off, 9-8 here at this ballpark over FGCU in 10 innings. One pitch. Breaking ball, bounce down toward short. Charging in on it, Malloy has to rush the throw to first and gets there in time to end the ball game. So Jacksonville with a little bit of sweat in the ninth inning, but the Dolphins close it out nonetheless. 6-4 victors on a Friday night in come-from-behind fashion. Jacksonville with the win improves to 25-23 on the year, and the Dolphins snap the three-game losing streak, have not lost more than 3 games in a row all season, and that continues here with this win tonight. Jacksonville now 25-23 on the year and 11-14 in the A-Sun. North Florida falls to 20-29, 10-15 in the conference. Mason Adams earns the win for Jacksonville with a strong 7 innings here tonight. He improves to 5-3 on the season. Your losing pitcher is Stephen Halstead, who falls to 2-4 on the year. Jacksonville and North Florida back in action tomorrow night, 7 o'clock first pitch, again right here at John Sessions Stadium as the Dolphins go for a series win tomorrow night. Again, your final score from John Sessions Stadium, Jacksonville 6, North Florida 4. This has been a presentation of Jacksonville University Athletics.